Hey everybody, it's Lance Dawson. I am back in the studio with my main amigo Andrew Stewart for yet another episode of Backstage Lowdown. Today we have US born but Canadian raised singer, songwriter, session musician, record producer, quadruple threat. I don't know. Anyway, Marc Jordan's in the studio with us, and maybe one of his greatest accomplishments is, being Amy Sky's husband. I don't know, but this guy is incredibly creative, prolific. He's wrote songs for everybody: Rod Stewart, Cher, Kenny Loggins. I don't want to bring up David Hasselhoff, but he has written a song for David Hasselhoff. Anyway, he's in the studio with Andrew Stewart and I today. This is going to be great. I'm glad you're here for another episode of Backstage Lowdown. Before we get to it, let me remind you this episode is sponsored by Look Digital Marketing. From stunning websites to full digital marketing, they help your business shine online. See the difference with Look Digital Marketing. Visit lookmarketing.ca today. All right, Marc Jordan in the studio with Backstage Lowdown. Here we go. Hey, Marc.
Your audio should be connected.
Maybe it is.
Hey, there we go. There we go. Hey, Marc, how you
So,
doing?
Good.
Good, good. I'm Lance Dawson, by the way. You've been
I
speaking with
went.
my friend Andrew Stewart.
Yeah. I'm sorry I was a little a couple of minutes late. I got pulled over coming home by a cop because I
so
was
let's hear
Ah,
that story.
yeah,
Like that doesn't happen too often. I haven't been pulled
yeah.
over in 30 years,
So
so
Marc Jordan was stunt driving in Toronto. This is
no,
crazy. You
I
heard it
was
here first.
trying to get home to do this.
Yeah.
we appreciate it.
As I'm going to end up in jail.
Yeah.
If
There you
if you
go.
had waited just an extra 6 months, you could have included this story in the biography.
I was trying to rush to get onto some guy's podcast. Anyway, Marc, we do appreciate you taking your time
Yeah.
today to talk to us. I think that's great. We were just talking about, well, just the many accolades of Marc Jordan. And Andrew, I promise you, I'm going to try to stay on topic today. We've got a book to talk about, and he's written songs for everybody. But you know what I'm keying in on. You see in Marc's background, there's a plethora of some guitars there, and I'm going to try to behave myself.
Oh,
But because I have a habit, Marc, of taking these podcasts a little off rails and talking guitars and
That's
stuff.
okay.
Yeah. Anyway. Uh, so yeah, in the intro, Marc, I have to say, I just got back from watching a concert Sawyer Brown was playing down in Niagara, and
oh,
I didn't realize you had written a song for those guys
I had.
back in the day.
Trying to think of what the title was.
Oh, I know that because I was just listening to it, and it was
That
called
was a
Break
while
Break
ago.
My Heart Again.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, did you get to meet those guys? How does that happen? When you write a song for
Uh,
somebody,
no, I don't think I ever did meet them. I think I talked to them on that phone or something, but I don't know. I don't think I ever met them.
okay. So you write a song, your publishing company pitches that song and you're sort of out of that loop, or how does that whole thing work?
Sometimes,
Right.
I mean, I've met a lot of people. I met, a lot of the older, like Dinah Ross and people
Right.
like that,
Right.
and Rod, of course, and um, but yeah, a lot of the time, a song, like an artist will hear a song that a writer has written, and you don't get to meet them. They just do
Right.
the song unless there's a problem and they want something rewritten. So,
Yeah.
which does happen. That does happen.
It's always so amazing to me because you can write a song in so many different ways. Like that same song can be done country, it can be done rock, it can be done jazz. Your wife Amy could have done a totally different version of it.
Hmm.
It's always incredible to me that somebody would pick a song and not maybe just chat with you for a second of saying, hey, how did you hear this one? You know what I mean? That sort of thing. But
Well, I think a lot of artists that want to make it their own. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Sure, yeah.
And everybody has their own singing style. So, I mean, if I do cover songs too, and I don't sing them the way they're on those people's records.
right.
So it's a way of putting your signature on them when especially if you do live stuff. You don't want to sound like the demo singer for the song when
Yeah.
No, you're
you
right. You do want to have your own twist, your own interpretation, and kind of
yeah
like, hey, that's Mark's style.
yeah
We can see that in this song.
yeah.
Are you still out gigging a lot, Mark?
Um, I have a couple of things coming up. Yeah, I have in the middle of April. I have I think that's the book launch. So I'm playing a little bit then with Don Breithaupt.
Oh,
And
fantastic. So are those two things going together, like book launch, a little bit of a concert beforehand or after? Are you doing any reading or excerpts from it?
yeah, I'll do a whole thing. I'll do a few songs and then Don, I think, is going to read a bunch, and then there's going to be a Q&A
How
and
did you come about having Don write the book as opposed to you writing it yourself?
well, because I couldn't do it.
Yeah, just now you kind of at the beginning of the book you kind of focus on your dyslexia,
Yeah,
and is that part of why you don't think that you could do it, or is it
yeah.
just kind of like
Yeah.
that's just going to take a lot of time and I just don't have it right
Well,
now?
it would take me a lot longer to do it than a writer.
Yeah.
Although Don spent a lot of time on it. But I'd written songs with Don. I knew him, and he had done a wonderful book on Steely Dan. I think Donald Fagen in particular, and so we were just together one day, and he said, "You ever thought of a biography?" And I said, "Well," I said jokingly, "if you want to do it." And he said, "Well, maybe I did. Maybe I did." And so we went up to my cottage and we sat there maybe, a few weekends. And then we talked and he recorded some stuff and like hours and hours and hours
Yeah.
questions.
So when that happens, Mark, like I'm just sort of imagining, did you feel like, well, I mean, you must, having been in the industry as long as have been, and playing as many different roles as you've done as a songwriter and a session player and a performer in his own right, you must have thought, I have a lot of really great stories. So this idea of a biography is not that far-fetched. Or did you just feel like, I'm not, like it's not that, you know, it's not my
Well,
thing.
I mean, when I got going, I realized I did have a lot of story. I started
Sure.
remembering things and of course making a lot of stuff up too.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
saying
Sometimes it
that,
was it they say about it's not sometimes it's not for the lack of the story, it's for the listening, it's the lack of a listening ear, right? I think that I want to say that was Stephen King. But anyway,
And I,
um, yeah. So now you had a listening ear and all the stories came out.
yeah, yeah, it
when
was
you started thinking about all those stories, were there any that you were hesitant to actually put in, or other stories that you preferred just to keep to yourself and not to share with fans?
there's a couple of stories that are not in there.
But we should break those on the podcast right now. Let's break that out. Wow, that's great. Hey, here's a quick question for you, just with regard to the songwriting, because I kind of dabble in that myself. Do you find that you're still writing? I'm assuming. I guess I just assume that, right? Like you have to.
I
Are
can't
you?
let it
Yeah,
go.
right. You can't stop. So, do you find like you were more prolific when you were younger, and you had all that angst, and now like you and I are. I don't know how old you are, but I'm 57. I can't generate angst anymore. Like the topics are different. It's all different.
Well, That's a good question. Yes, the topics are different, but your life is different.
Right.
So what the hell are you writing about? You're not
That's right.
writing about someone else's life. You're writing about you're the vessel through which the music goes. So it changes as you change. So the older you get, the stories are different. They might be a little deeper. They might be a little more interesting in a lot of ways.
Probably interesting to though people of our same ilk, because there are times where I'm writing things that I haven't experienced, but people in my age, they've told me they're going through a divorce, they're going through whatever, and then their story comes through, and that's what I've written about.
Yeah.
Um, but I do remember I've told this story before. I played one of our songs or my band songs for some a young girl she's like, I want to say 16. She goes, I want to hear something country. I'm like, hey, I'll play one of these, and this will be an unsolicited, like just she doesn't know it's me, so I'm gonna play this. And honestly, Mark, she goes, I'm going to give it a 4. I'm like, a 4 out of 5? And she goes, no, not out of 5, out of 10. I'm like, good God. I said, why? And she goes, because it doesn't make me cry and I can't dance to it. So what the hell good is it? And you know what? She was right. But she was 14 or 15. You know what I mean? Like, that's
Well,
what they want.
that's
But if
yeah,
somebody our
Different
age had,
life
right,
experience.
if somebody our
yeah.
age had listened to it, they might have given me a 5. I don't know. You know, one can only hope.
And you really cry and dance at the same
Yeah.
time. That's what I want to know.
Is it? Well, no, no. Is it easier to write now? Do you find that it's easier or no?
I have, yes, it's, yeah, it is because I'm not touring as much as I used to. And I have a lot of, I don't have kids anymore, like at home, obviously.
Right.
And I have a lot more time now. And so I'm in this box, till 4 in the morning sometimes,
Wow.
often actually.
Yeah, that's
So
great.
I enjoy, I mean, man, that's the only thing I can do really.
What do you do with the songs now? Do they get recorded or they get filed? What do you do with them?
Well, I continue to make records. I have a deal with like I think it's Fidelio Records. It's like a hi-fi record company.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Guy had Warren Heights. It's his label, and so he signed me, and so I gave him my last record, and he wants more, so I'm working with Luke Monty again and doing another bunch of
That's fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah, I think when you're that, and at sort of this stage, and
Andre
people are still
Perry.
coming to you for songs, that's great.
I'm curious when you're writing for like for music for song and you often you often have to show a certain amount of vulnerability. Did you find the same sort of feeling when you're opening up for the book, or do you find it easier when you're writing for music to share that story, knowing that you have the music behind it?
Well, for me, um, lyrics and music are the same thing because I see melody. So they're not like different for me. I don't put lyrics to melodies. They're the same.
Mm.
They exist together. And maybe that might be part of dyslexia. I'm not sure. Um, but so I kind of write down what I hear. So when I come up with a melody, because I always write the melody too.
Yeah.
And when I come up with a melody or chord changes suggest a melody, that automatically suggests um, lyrics.
So you write them simultaneously. They sort of happen.
Kind of.
Yeah.
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 I would agree with that. And so you don't see one as more important than the other because they're just so intimately
No,
intertwined.
no, no. I mean, melody is lyric
Yeah.
in a
I
lot
can
of
buy into
ways.
that.
Yeah.
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 It's always interesting to me because I would tend to agree with that, but I notice there's some people that are more motivated by just I love a driving bass or I love, a guitar riff. Other people are like, man, I just get so into lyrics and the way a writer will say a certain phrase, that's what motivates them. And I can buy into all of that. I'm more nervous about when someone says, I don't listen to music. It doesn't do anything
Oh,
for me. And then I think,
well,
what feeds your soul? Like,
well, I think music is very, listen, I have a granddaughter, and my daughter, Zoe, and Liam had a baby a year ago. And I watch how she relates to music. Like she's not even one, and she's on it. So that tells me that it's very primal.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
exists. I mean, look, when primitive men went into the forest, they started beating on trees. Well, that's music.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? And then chanting, and then words, and then it progressed. But it's there's something in human beings that that is that music is part of.
I'm glad no one figured out how to stream back then, eh? Those cavemen, that would have been awful.
Well, they were streaming, by the way. It wasn't the radio.
Different,
Yeah, it
different
was.
sort of thing.
Yeah, so difficult to say.
You've been putting out music, and I'm going from memory here. I think from early 70s, like about 74. Am I right in that?
I think you are.
Yeah. Okay. Um, During that time, you've seen the music industry change a lot.
Yeah.
Do you think it's changed for the better, for worse? Do you think there's things that have lost that musicians and record companies need to take a step back and reconsider?
Well, I think there's both. I think the streaming thing um, is a little too well. There was something about record companies and A&R uh, divisions that sought out what they figured were talented people. And so the airways weren't inundated with stuff. That some of it good, some of it not good. Now that said, they probably missed a lot of people as well. So there's
Sure.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
In my day, in Toronto, what they did, what the A&R guys did, like I didn't know where to send music to labels. What they did is they went out to the clubs and they looked where the lineups were. That's where they went. And
Right.
you guy had lineups outside the club. That said to those guys, oh well, this dude is connecting in some way with people.
So
And
I guess that's no different now than when and we've talked about this on other episodes, Mark, where I was trying to get into playing a festival and somebody said, they don't care about your songs. They want to know how many TikTok followers you have or what your presence on Instagram is. And I guess in an odd way, it's kind of the same thing, right? Just taking they don't care about the band inside, but what's the lineup look like? If they're connecting, we don't care if we like them. We don't even care if they're that good. There's some impact happening.
yeah, yeah. But I think back in the day, the I think the other component was that they had to like you as well.
Right.
They had to see, and they could be. I mean, there was astronomically less content, you
Yeah.
know,
Right.
and radio was a real easy way to promote stuff. And it was it was very analog kind of system back then. It was like, selling baskets. They
We recently had a couple of the guys on from the early days of CFNY, and they were talking about how they really were integral in breaking bands and breaking them early, uh, just just because the A&R guys got the music into their hands, they were playing it right away,
Yep, yep, that's
and all of
right.
a sudden that spark hits and
A
everybody's
lot, a
listening.
lot of a lot of hit records started that way. I mean, Black Velvet is a great example of how that.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
was it was done. It was over, baby. And some dude in Texas started playing it, and boom,
Yeah, I don't know
wow.
if radio has the same impact that it
It doesn't
did
anymore because
back, you know,
it
30
does.
years ago even.
People don't really listen. People are. Oh, I don't know if there are pros and cons. I don't want to sound like an old fuck, even though I sort of am. But there are pros and cons to it, but there are certain things about the new technologies that bother me. And profoundly. And I think there's more to this life than that little screen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I give you a couple of examples. Um, so I was in Santa Barbara after early January working. And it was beautiful, and we've just come through the winter from hell in Toronto. And so I got on the plane to head back to Toronto. So I guess they were mostly people from Canada heading back to the snow. And it was just glorious sun. Santa Barbara is the best climate on the planet, I think. And so I had a window seat. And I got on the plane. And I'm looking out the window. So we're taking off. The guy goes, "Hey, buddy, put your blind down." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He says, "You're getting glare on my screen." And so I looked up, and the whole plane was black inside. No one was looking out their window. And I gotta tell you, there's a lot of shit out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like life isn't that 2.5 by whatever.
Yeah.
It's time that people start looking up from their
There's a lot of
screens
world out there.
and
There's a
actually
lot
experiencing what's going on around them.
in the present. I think so. And I know that's very unpopular to say that, but
No, I think it's gaining some traction. I also think that the opportunity to see the same old thing, but from a completely different perspective, meaning you're in the air and you're looking at
yeah,
something you may have seen 1,000 times, but you've never seen it that way. Why would you pass up the opportunity to catch something on YouTube, right? So,
yeah.
yeah, it's a challenge. It's going to be a challenge for your daughter to impress that upon your granddaughter. we talk about it all the time in terms of music, in terms of sharing music. Like, hey, Mark, I heard this great album the other day. Have you heard this? Would you like to listen to it? Everybody's got their headphones on now, so I can't even walk by somebody and hear what they're listening to and say, hey, who's that? You know, that sort of thing.
That's true.
It's the technology, I think, has isolated us quite a
Yeah,
bit.
and it is, I don't trust these motherfucker. Excuse me.
That's
No,
okay.
we're good. We're
Okay.
good.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah.
trust these guys in tech. Their programs, I believe, are addictive, and I've no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Uh, no doubt they know. I know they know about it, and in
Yeah.
fact, there's hearings right now in Washington.
Right. Against Meta.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think you're right though. I just sometimes I think it's a double-edged sword where I've always said, look, I appreciate the fact that technology's become cheaper and in a lot of ways more affordable. So it's
yeah,
wonderful that
yes,
you see young kids that can afford a microphone and can afford, some software to start recording and
yeah.
creating and learning how to do that. My problem was that when all that came out, they didn't also develop a formula or a filter to say, hey, just because you can record a song doesn't mean that it should be posted.
Okay,
Because now, people that take it seriously or people that are working at it as a craft, they have more junk in their way. And it's
that's
harder
true.
for the cream to rise to the top, and then
For sure.
it also fills a lot of people with these delusions of grandeur, you know, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I said, it's a double-edged sword. I think it's great. You've got tools now that we could never afford when we were a kid. You had to pay somebody to go to the recording studio.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're just cluttering the airwaves.
Tell you another thing. There were that I miss, although I still get to do it now and then. But there was something about going into a studio with great players
Right.
and have them, players that you pick that sort of share a similar aesthetic, and you cast it like you cast a movie. So there's something brilliant about going in and with those guys and working on something and have it come out.
Do you
And
prefer a live room?
kind of, I do enjoy that. It depends on the situation, but I
Yeah, for
do.
sure.
I love it. I love it.
Just the energy that the musicians kind of that just starts to kind of swell up and starts to
Yeah.
almost bounce off each other. I think it personally lends a lot to the
The
music.
sum is greater than the parts, of
Yeah,
expression is, but you know what I'm saying?
no, definitely.
Well, I guess if people are experiencing life differently too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure you have amazing memories of being in the studio with certain musicians that, you just remember
Unbelievable.
so fondly, right? And so if it was all done over a Zoom thing, and I don't know, you're right. It can be a very sterile life if we allow it to be. Fair enough.
I mean,
Oh,
to be in this, like I'm so lucky, if that is meaningful to you, that those caliber players. But I got to play with some of the best players ever, and it was such a learning experience, especially for me, because I couldn't learn it really by any way but observation. And so it was so profound for me to be around those people.
yeah.
I learned so much.
Wow. Um, Andrew, I was going to key you up for a lightning round. Are we
Yeah,
good? Okay.
yeah. Let's go.
So, Mark, I don't know if you've taken the time to have a listen of any of
Okay,
our
let me
past
answer the
episodes.
question before
Yeah.
you
Oh, yeah.
ask it. It's huge.
And real. Uh, That's good. That's good. All right. So we have this lightning round, a completely unscientific way of getting to know you, shoes or boots, that sort of thing. I think you've already broken down the code, Mark. You're way ahead of us, which
He's
is
talking
not the
about the
case.
painting behind him. Just
Yeah,
for
yeah,
those
it's
listening, he's
huge.
talking about the nice jazz painting behind him right now.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's so great. Anyway, this is kind of Andrew's baby, so I'm gonna let him throw some questions at you. There are no wrong answers.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
But
just like a
you only get one.
shoes or boots sort of
Right.
thing, and you choose boots because you're not insane, and then we continue on to the next one. Sometimes extra stories come along with it, and that's okay. So don't worry about that. But let's get us started.
Okay.
Studio at 2 a.m. or stage at 9 p.m.
Studio.
Vinyl crackle or digital clarity.
Both.
First take magic or perfect final cut.
First take magic.
Writing alone or writing with a room full of people.
Alone.
Classic piano or vintage guitar.
Vintage guitar.
Thank you. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a mic drop. Thank you. Appreciate that. What kind of shit question was that in the first place? I'm embarrassed you asked that.
I'm surprised that you haven't had one word about those guitars in the background.
I am trying to behave myself. Mark,
Uh,
okay, just one. Okay, we got more questions. I know we got what, three, four more. What's your favorite guitar, Mark? You own a few. What's your favorite? Your go-to?
Well, I'll tell you know what? My favorite guitar is this one. There's a long story to this one.
oh,
Oh, wow. Look at that. Some P90s, a hollow body. What
Yeah.
is that?
That was now this is you want the story?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So this was a Yamaha guitar that was given to me by Yamaha. And it had one of the, it was like a folk guitar.
Okay.
And yeah. So I was playing my Gretsch, and I gave this to my daughter because it was didn't really work for me.
Right.
And she slipped and fell on it, cracked
Oh, no.
the whole thing in, right? So I went, oh fuck. So I gave it to my carpenter. He said, "Oh, give me that. I'll mess with it." And literally, I forgot about it. 5 years later, he found this piece of this thing for the top, I guess it's spruce or whatever. And he hand carved it, and he got these pickups from a guy who makes them and hand winds them. And put it together. And I played it, and it was a little dead, and he took it apart again and shaved the top down again, put it together, and it is amazing now.
And this is a carpenter, not like a luthier.
Luthier. Yeah.
Luthier. Sorry. Luthier.
I would have gone luthier, but you could have gone luthier.
That's possible. I'm more classy.
You
Anyway,
really are.
it's a carpenter? Like
Yeah.
just a woodworker guy. I'm impressed.
The mic's not picking it up right now.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. That's a beautiful guitar.
It is a
It
beautiful
is.
guitar with a really great story. I'm
Yeah.
dying to ask what happened to the daughter. She's never been seen since.
Oh, she has literally never.
Yeah, that's right. For those of
Now
you
you
who
got a
love
beautiful
guitars,
guitar.
you'll see what we're talking about. Okay, Andrew, sorry, go ahead. I
All right.
digress.
Coffee strong or whiskey neat?
Coffee strong.
Coarse hook.
Neat.
Coarse hook or deep cut verse?
Deep cut verse.
Spontaneous jam or carefully crafted session?
Oh,
We get a lot of those boths.
Feel like
Well,
A
these are the
heartbreak
tough questions.
song.
they're different, you know?
Well, yeah, no, exactly. Heartbreak songs or feel good anthems.
Heartbreak.
And last but not least, standing ovation or total silence that says everything.
I believe that's in reference to your comment. It's huge. I think that's a
Right.
callback.
That's a hard one to answer.
I think a standing ovation would be.
I didn't want to go there.
Mark, this is totally your fault. I
I
am
know.
not taking blame for this. This is totally Mark's fault.
No,
You're both seven.
I'm confronted with silence all the time, so I've grown to love it, you know.
In my house, I like to call that awe and wonder, but silence also.
That's what I think of. I internalize it as awe and wonder, just speechless adulation, but we all know it's that.
Now I feel, is this going to be inappropriate to ask if we could also interview Amy? Oh, terrible.
Mark, thanks so much for being on the show. That's been another episode of Backstage Lowdown.
We appreciate it, Mark. It was a
I'm
real
glad we
pleasure
all
to talk to you.
survived.